Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever found yourself just standing in the skincare aisle, completely overwhelmed, trying to find a daily sunscreen that doesn't leave you looking like a greasy, chalky mess? It's a universal struggle, right? But today, we are looking at a product that claims to have solved this exact problem. The big question is this premium $41 daily sunscreen actually worth the hype? Or is it just really clever marketing?
Welcome to this explainer. I am literally so excited to dive into this with you today. We're going to objectively tear down this massive Amazon product page for the EltaMD UV Daily SPF 40. We'll use the actual data, the raw ingredient list, and thousands of real customer reviews to figure out exactly what is going on inside this little bottle.
So here's our game plan for today. First, unpacking the EltaMD Daily. Second, decoding the ingredients. Third, what do customers say? And finally, the final verdict. Let's just jump right in. All right, section 1, unpacking the EltaMD Daily. Let's establish exactly what this product promises to do on paper. When you look at the manufacturer's marketing claims, they are hitting every single major pain point people have with SPF. It boasts being fragrance-free and paraben-free. It promises absolutely no white cast, which, is basically the holy grail for mineral-based sunscreens. It's non-comedogenic, meaning it won't clog your pores and cause breakouts. Oh, and it comes in a TSA-approved travel size. So on paper, it sounds like the absolute perfect everyday companion for your skin. But yeah, there's a catch, and it's a pretty big one. For a one-time purchase of a 1.7-ounce pump bottle, you are looking at $41. That is a seriously premium price tag for a consumable product you're supposed to use every single day, and that immediately sets up our main investigation for this explainer. Does the performance of this formula actually justify dropping that kind of cash? Moving right along to section 2, decoding the ingredients. Let's get into the science and see what makes this formula tick based on the brand's own specs. So the big star of the show here is the inclusion of hyaluronic acid. The product is heavily marketed as a hydrating face sunscreen, and this ingredient is exactly why. If you know skincare, you know hyaluronic acid is famous for its ability to hold onto moisture like a sponge. The manufacturer claims this doesn't just give you a softer feel, but actively reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles by restoring suppleness. Basically, it's aiming to be your daily moisturizer and your sunscreen, all rolled into one step. Now, what about the actual sun protection? The active ingredients here are 9% transparent zinc oxide and 7.5% octinoxate. This specific combo is what provides the broad-spectrum SPF 40 protection against both UVA and UVB rays. But what you really need to take away from this is the word transparent right before zinc oxide. We all know zinc is notorious for leaving that thick, white lifeguard nose residue, right? Well, EltaMD formulates this to specifically avoid that dreaded white cast. And if you've ever shopped for their products, you know the paradox of choice can be completely overwhelming. To help you navigate it all, just understand that the UV Daily we're looking at is targeted at normal, dry, and combination skin, really focusing on moisturizing. But say you have highly acne-prone or rosacea skin, they'd actually steer you toward their UV Clear formula instead. Or if you have mature skin, they suggest the UV Restore. So this breakdown really helps us understand exactly whose face this $41 bottle was actually built for. All right, on to section 3. What do customers say? This is my favorite part, because we get to separate the slick marketing claims from real-world performance by looking directly at what buyers are experiencing. Check this out. 43,290 global ratings. This isn't some small test group. This is a massively popular, highly tested consumer product. Having this wealth of data gives us a super clear, statistically solid picture of how this sunscreen actually performs out in the wild. And when we look at how those thousands of reviews break down, wow, an overwhelming 81% of buyers gave this sunscreen a perfect 5-star score. Throw in another 10% giving it 4 stars, and you've got a 91% highly positive consensus. In the notoriously picky world of skincare, hitting that level of universal praise is honestly pretty rare. When we dig into the specific themes pulled from the text of the reviews, the data totally validates the marketing. Over 2,500 customers specifically praised the sun projection. Over 1,200 loved the tint, noting it gives a light, natural glow without looking like makeup. And nearly 900 users highlighted the moisturizing properties, which pretty much confirms that the hyaluronic acid we talked about earlier is actually pulling its weight. Let's look at a real verified review to put this in perspective. This 5-star user writes, "Great product, easy to spread, and doesn't leave a white film. My face feels moisturized all day without feeling heavy or like my pores are clogged." that literally echoes the product's core claims of being non-comedogenic, moisturizing, and completely transparent. And here is a totally crucial test for any zinc oxide product. How does it perform on deeper skin tones? Another customer states, "It does not leave a white cast on my brown skin, it protects well from sun, it feels light on my sensitive skin." That's a massive endorsement, proving their transparent zinc formulation actually works across different complexions. But hey, for a complete and objective explainer, we absolutely have to look at the criticisms too. Multiple verified reviews mention packaging failures. Like this 4-star reviewer who notes, "My only complaint is the pump. The bottle is full of product, nothing is coming out." When you're shelling out $41 for barely 2 ounces of product, having a defective pump that traps the liquid inside the bottle is a totally valid frustration. We also see a small but definitely notable percentage of 1- and 2-star reviews highlighting sensory and sensitivity issues. One user complained that you, quote, "stink of some chemical smell all day," while another noted the product made their eyes so dry that they looked and felt flaky. It's just a good reminder that skincare is deeply personal, right? Even a dermatologist-recommended sensitive-friendly formula won't be a perfect match for literally everyone.
Which brings us to section 4, the final verdict. Let's pull all this data together to answer our initial question about this bestseller. So the pros and cons are pretty cut and dry here. In the pro column, you have a highly rated, lightweight formula that genuinely moisturizes and actually delivers on the difficult promise of leaving no white cast, even on darker skin tones. But in the con column, you really have to weigh that hefty $41 price tag, the documented risk of getting a busted pump, and the slight chance you might experience sensory irritation, like a chemical smell.
So the crucial point we are left with is this. Does an 81% 5-star consensus across over 43,000 reviews justify putting a $41 sunscreen in your daily routine? The data strongly suggests the formula delivers exactly what it promises. But at the end of the day, only you can decide if the investment is worth it for your personal lineup. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. I really hope this breakdown gave you exactly the clarity you were looking for.